Welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with Brandon. This is the Dallas Cowboys Week 5 episode, and it's going to be a great episode because they won against the Rams 22 to 10, 425 window in LA, and it was a great game to watch. Obviously, if you're a Cowboys fan, just so many different great things that happened in this game. The defense is just so elite that it's great to see that they could play at a level like this. They've been playing at this level the entire season. Again, another game where they let under 19 points. Every single game this season, it's been 19 points or under. Back-to-back weeks with 10 points. With Washington, now LA. So just what this defense is doing is remarkable because the offense, even though we are scoring like 20 points a game, 20 to 25 points a game, that's really not going to win most weeks in the NFL. Maybe a week or two here and there, but if you're going to score 20 to 25 points, you're not going to win a lot of games. So if the defense wasn't playing at this level, we wouldn't be 4-1 right now. We'd probably be 2-3, maybe 3-2, but probably 2-3 to be honest. But it's just they're winning us these games. The offense is doing well. We ran the ball amazing in this game, which again I've been hammering down every single time. Even when it doesn't work, you got to run the ball. It worked in this one for sure, but it's all because of this defense. They're getting us great field position. They're getting us turnovers. In this game, they got us points. They're just killing drives when they need to be killed. It's forcing missed field goals. It's forcing bad throws. It's forcing penalties against the other team. It's just doing everything positive that we need. So I can't wait for when Dak does come back and really when I say that, it's that I hope this offense doesn't change when he comes back. And I think I've seen some people talk about it, but like this is the offense that we should run. It's not like when Dak comes back, it's like, oh, we're gonna throw 30 plus times a game now. Even if we're winning, even if the run's working, like we're just gonna keep throwing it because Dak's in there. Like that's not how it should work. Like, yeah, he's obviously a better quarterback than Cooper Rush. There's no doubt about it. He's more talent, he's more ability, he could throw the ball better, everything like that. But if like this team has always been built on the run for its history. It's always been built on the run and then the pass. And I think the last couple years we've gotten away from that. And I think like this is almost kind of what we like needed, is to have this run work, this absence for Dak and go to Cooper Rush and see that we could still win games. Like this defense is so good that we could win games playing like this. Go back to 2016. The reason that we won 13 games, yeah, Dak was great, but it was the fact that we ran the ball and that our defense wasn't on the field that much. Because our defense now is way better than that defense, but the reason we won games in 2016 was because we won time of possession, we were winning field position, and when we had to put drives together, we were putting long drives together that would get points. And that's exactly what we're doing. And now think about it, the defense is even better. And when Dak comes back, he's even better than he was in 2016. This team is better than it was in 2016. So that's why I'm so excited, and I'm so looking forward to the rest of the season. Is because of that. And I think it's the perfect formula to win. Like when Dak comes back, I don't want him just to be in shotgun, just throwing the ball every single time. Like run the ball, run it with Zeke, run it with Pollard, get the other team worn out. Again, when it gets cold and a game starts going and you start playing more games, guys get worn out on that defense. And if you could run the ball against them, because no defense likes. Because like when you're pass blocking, you're going at the offensive line. When you're run blocking, the offensive line is going at you. So that's what you need. You need them to be aggressive and you need them to attack the defensive line and the linebackers in the secondary. So it's just I want this to be the offense that we run. Obviously, it's going to be a little more complex. So it's very basic right now because of Cooper Rush. And when Dak comes back, obviously you can make it a little more complex. But I want to run this style of offense when he does come back, which should be. People were saying the Philadelphia game this week. That's not going to happen. It looks like the Detroit game, maybe the Chicago game. Then we have a bye. It will be before the bye, but it's one of the next 2 weeks in Detroit or Chicago. So we'll see. But this game, like I said, great game. Starts off maybe the best way you could start a game off. I mean, I guess technically there was one blemish, but they get the ball first. They get a 3-yard pass, 6-yard pass, a 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, they actually drop back. I thought they'd maybe run it, but they actually dropped back. They were going to go with 3 straight passes, and Dorrance Armstrong just blows up Matt Stafford, and D-Law was right there as well. Dorrance Armstrong hits him, he fumbles, D-Law picks it up, runs it back for a touchdown, 34-yard touchdown, or I guess technically 20-yard touchdown return from where he got sacked and the ball came out. But I mean, you could not start a game better than that. And a game where the Rams got, they got beat down the week before against San Francisco. I was thinking, all right, they're coming back. They're going to be at home. They're going to want to, they haven't played so great this season. They're probably going to want to make a statement against us with the way that we've been playing. But the fact that we did that on the opening drive, third play of the game, could not have been a better start. We did miss the extra point, which that was I was saying is the one blemish, but it didn't matter in the end. But that's exactly what you want to see. Is that this defense is just there. Everyone's going to come after you. It's not just Micah. It's D-Law. It's Dorrance Armstrong. It's Dante Fowler. It's Sam Williams. It's Osa. It's everyone. Neville Gallimore is coming at you. So there's not one person that you can just. Obviously Mike is the one person you can focus on. But if you put two on him, that leaves someone else open. So. Great start, and then the next drive, obviously Rams get the ball back. They get like 1 or 2 first downs, but they eventually get to a 4th and 10 at our 46-yard line. They go to punt, and again, Dorrance Armstrong once again. He's been great this season. I think he has 4 sacks this season, and I think I saw a stat that said his first 2 or 3 years in the league, he had like 3 sacks. So the fact that he has 4 sacks right now is credit to him as being a better player, but then also he's just fitting this game plan, and he's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's attacking the passer when he has to, and he's always been a great special teams player. This one, free rusher, they didn't even try and block him. Perfect block of the punt. He picked it up. He almost could have returned it for a touchdown. I think if someone else picked it up, they probably could have, because he's not the fastest guy. He was obviously on the ground. He had to get up and then pick it up. So if someone else came in and swooped in that ball, they probably could have returned it for a touchdown. But nevertheless, returns it to the 20-yard line of LA. So, after our offense hasn't even touched the field yet, and we already have 6 points, and we're already in the red zone. So we didn't do anything on that drive, which kind of sucked, but we did get a field goal. Can't complain. Still getting points from a position where we would have most likely been pinned back. So we get points there, so we're up 9-0. Rams do come back and get a field goal of their own. Again, I expected them to score points. I thought they'd score more than 10, obviously, but it's a testament to the defense. But yeah, they do come down, get a field goal, so 9-3. Then it's a couple punts back and forth. We punted, they punted, we punted again. And then this is where the one explosive play, the one big play they had the entire game was right here. So it's first down at their 17. They get a 4-yard pass, and then it's 3rd and 2 at the 25. And Cooper Kupp just goes on a slant, basically just a crossing route, to be honest, not even a slant, and gets a 75-yard touchdown. Just ran away from everyone. I didn't like this defensive play because he's in the slot, and we had Diggs on him. Diggs just isn't a slot guy. He's an outside guy. He needs leverage on him. He's going to work sidelines. He's obviously going to work the pass as well. But in the slot, Diggs is fast, but, anytime you're in the slot, I believe Cooper Kupp might have been in motion as well. I can't remember for sure, but he was obviously in the slot. I just didn't like that Diggs was on him. I think you could have put Jordan Lewis on him. You could have put someone else on him as soon as he caught that ball, which Diggs had not terrible coverage on it, but, he's already beat off the line anyways, and obviously Cooper Kupp's a great, receiver. He's going to beat you off the line just about any time anyways, so it's kind of like a double on him, and then he catches that ball, and he just ran away from everyone. No one even touched them. So they're up 10-9 at this point. For how well we started this game off, the fact that we're losing 10-9, it's almost similar to the Washington game where we started off great, we're up 6-0, then Washington comes down, gets a touchdown, they're up 7-6 all of a sudden. So it's almost kind of the same game script as the week before. And what I've been saying since Cooper Rush has come back is that his ability to come down and get a touchdown right away. It's not, if they come down and get a big play on us, it's not like, we get the ball back, we maybe get a first down, but then we're punting, then they have a lot of momentum, they get the ball, it's as soon as we get the ball back, we're going down and scoring a touchdown. And then, like I said, that's exactly what happened. We get the ball, we go 2-yard run, we go Lamb for 16, and then Tony Pollard 57-yard run. Great run, great blocking. Martin Biadasz just threw away people. McGovern was holding down Aaron Donald, sealing that left side for Pollard. He runs through the hole, breaks a couple tackles, and then just runs away from everyone. Like that's the punch that we need right back. Just boom, right away. No doubt that like that's what I just love about this team right now and the way that they're playing is that like we're only giving up a touchdown a game on defense. Like we haven't given up more than one touchdown in all 5 games. So the one time that you do come down and get a touchdown, we're answering it right back with a touchdown of our own. And it was just perfect. I mean, Pollard, he's had some big plays this season. This was a big catalyst for why the run game was working because we were holding those blocks and the guys were open and our running backs were making plays. So that score goes from 10-9 to 16-10 in a minute. So we're back on top. They punt, we punt. They punt again. Then it's the end of the half. So basically a quiet end to the half, but we're up 16-10 after the huge play, obviously. So going into the second half, we put a really good drive together to start the second half. Again, we got the ball because I believe we deferred actually. I think we did win the toss. I think we deferred. So we get the ball back first in the second half. And it was we're moving the ball down the field. We convert on the 3rd and 1, 1st and 10 at our 37-yard line. Jalen Ramsey has a corner blitz. No one sees him. No one picks him up. And this is where the difference between Pollard and Zeke is. Now, Pollard's the more explosive back, and he's going to hit the home runs like that. And you get him out in space, he's going to make plays. And Zeke was good in this one, too. I think he had 15 carries for like 73 yards or something like that, or like 18 carries, whatever it was. He was really efficient as well. But Zeke is just a way better pass blocking and blitz picking up running back. He's just better. Like if Zeke, Pollard was in on that play when Ramsey came off the edge, and he was looking at the guy inside, and he wasn't looking at the guy on the outside, who was Ramsey, who I don't know how Cooper Rush held on to that ball. He did. Lucky that it wasn't a turnover because they would have been on our plus side of the field with a lot of momentum coming out of half now. They're probably driving for a touchdown to take the lead. So it's, that's just where the difference between Zeke and Pollard is, though, because he's picking that up. He's great at picking up blitzes and picking up guys and giving our quarterback an extra second in the pocket to make a throw or throw it away or do something with it. So it was, I do like Pollard playing more. I do. But I think if it's an obvious passing down, you really need Zeke in there because at least not every time because Pollard is the better receiving back, but it's, certain situations you definitely need Zeke more than Pollard. So after that, it's 2nd and 18. We go 2 yards, so it's 3rd and 16 out of 31. Not looking great, and then a great throw and a great catch by Michael Gallup. 27 yards down the field. It was right on the sideline. Great catch. 3rd and 16. And you're probably thinking, just run it, just get some more yards to get more yards for the punt. They get the ball back, but. No, I like that we're aggressive with that. Like, even with Cooper Rush, we're aggressive with that. I think Dak would probably do the same thing if he was in at quarterback. But the fact that we're that confident in our team to be able to convert that when we're really not that great at converting 3rd downs so far this season. I think we're bottom 5 in that. Our red zone percentage isn't great. Like, we're not great on offense, but when we need key plays, we make those key plays. And that's really all that matters right now is with the backup in there and the defense the way that it's playing. When you need to make plays, we make the plays. So get the 27-yard pass. Then Zeke for 8 yards. Zeke for -2. Lamb for 9 yards. So we're at the 27-yard line. Zeke for 3. Zeke for 2. Then we go incomplete 3rd and 5. So we kick a field goal. Like I said, that's still good though. Positive. Long drive. It took 7 minutes for that drive to happen. To only go 53 yards. So we get the field goal, so we're up two full possessions, or I guess 1 full possession, but 9 points. So not even a touchdown and 2-point conversion could even tie the game. They punt, we punt, and then a huge play that happened is their next drive. So their second drive of the half. It's right at the end of the 3rd quarter, beginning of the 4th quarter. So obviously getting into that, the time where you're going to win that game, you're going to lose that game. They get all the way down to our 33-yard line. And it's 3rd and 19. They get a 5-yard pass just to get some more yards for the field goal. So the 33-yard line, 4th and 14. They have a good kicker as well, Matt Gay. So it's a 51-yard field goal. He's pretty good, like I said, and he misses. So huge miss because he makes that. It's 19-13. It's back to being a touchdown, puts you in the lead. keeps it at one possession, but he misses. So we get the ball back at our 41-yard line because it's not where the line of scrimmage is on a missed field goal. It's where the holder is holding it, and usually they're a couple yards, obviously, behind the line of scrimmage. So get a couple yards there, and we don't do anything on that drive. We go 3 and out and we punt. But it was huge for field position because they make that field goal. It's 19-13. We get the ball back at our 25. Let's say we go 3 and out there. They're getting the ball back at their 35-yard line, 30, anywhere from the 30 to 40-yard line, and they have momentum again. But instead, we punt from our 46-yard line. We pin them back at the 10-yard line. So now they're pinned back. They have to punt from their 17-yard line. Cavante Turpin has a 12-yard return, which is a big return right there because we get the ball back in midfield now. So we're basically on the plus side of the field. And again, we put a good drive together to go up 2 possessions, 2 full touchdowns. So it's 12 points, whatever, same thing. But it's only a 9-play, 35-yard drive, but it takes up 5.5 minutes off the clock. Which was huge because at that point the time just needed to expire. We just wanted to kill clock and not have their offense come on the field because they can make an explosive play as we saw with the Cooper Kupp play. So Zeke for 5, Zeke for 3, Zeke for 7, Pollard for 8, Pollard for 3. Like that, you need to be able to run the ball like that, which was so impressive to see. Then we go Zeke for -2, so it's 2nd and 12. Zeke no gain. And then Cooper Rush, he goes 11 yards to CeeDee Lamb on 3rd and 12. So it's 4th and 1. I mean, I think I was kind of 50-50 when watching this. I was like, you could probably go, the way that we were running the ball, I was like, you could probably go for that. You could even fake the run and go for a pass with a tight end and leaking out. I was like, I wouldn't mind going for this. You're at the 17-yard line, so they're still backed up. It's not like we're at their 35-yard line where if you don't get it, they have a shortened field. They are still back there, and they still need it. We're still up 9 points at that time with 5.5 minutes left in the game. So I didn't mind going for that. And then I think, if I remember correctly, I think they still kept the offense out there, but then they took a timeout. And brought the kicking unit in, but it would have been interesting to see what would have happened. If we get that, then we kill more time. Even if it's just we just do 3 more plays and then kick a field goal. That's probably another minute off the clock or whatever it would have been, minute and a half. So probably 2 minutes to be honest, unless they're using their timeouts. Still kills more clock, and you still get the 3 points, or you go down and get a touchdown. So it's obviously a bigger lead. But we didn't do any of that, which I was fine with. I think I was 50-50, like I said. We kicked the field goal, go up 12 points with 5.5 minutes left in the game. And then this is where the defense stepped up. So they drove the ball down the field. There was a terrible roughing the passer call on Dante Fowler, which he didn't even hit Matt Stafford in the head or the neck. Anywhere, hit him perfectly in the shoulder, exactly how you're supposed to hit a quarterback. Not like he landed on him. He just hit him. Somehow that was roughing the passer. I don't know how it was. So they went from their 44-yard line to our 22-yard line because they did have a completion for 20 yards on the play. So it was just at 15. So they're 1st and 10 at 22. They get a 6-yard pass. Then they get a holding on their offensive lineman. And one thing I'll say, I haven't even really said his name yet, but Micah Parsons, he was getting held all game. It was ridiculous. They never call holding calls on him. They finally did at this time because they had to. I mean, the offensive lineman's arm was around his neck the entire game. It was ridiculous that he wasn't getting any holding calls against him. But we get that. Then it's we have a penalty on us. It was offside, so it's 2nd and 9 at our 21-yard line. Just a great rush. It looked like Fowler had him. Then Leighton Vander Esch almost had him, and then Osa got him for a sack for -4 yards. So 3rd and 13 at the 25-yard line. Again, immense pressure on him on this play, and we get an interception. Malik Hooker has played really well so far this season. Interception at the goal line, and I mean Matt Stafford at this point was just beat up. He was getting hit all day. I believe we had 5 sacks in this game. I think it was, but we had like a couple more quarterback hits, a lot of pressures. I mean Micah by himself had 9 pressures, so. It was relentless all day. Their offensive line's really bad for them. It's beaten up, and even if it wasn't beaten up, it's still not that good. So we get the ball back there. Don't do anything on the drive, just 3-and-out, but we punt. So they get the ball basically at midfield. And then, Micah already had a sack at this point, and then he actually got injured. He hurt his leg, his groin, so he was only really playing on obvious passing downs or third downs for basically the second half of this game. But when we needed him, he came up clutch, as he always does. But it's 2nd and 7 at our 28-yard line. I mean, he just blows by the right tackle. Again, he was still getting held on that play, which is ridiculous. Even on the sack, he's still getting held, and they didn't call it. But just crushes Matt Stafford. He fumbles. We recover it. Second sack of the day. He had 9 pressures, like I was saying before. Monster game from him. I think he was NFC Defensive Player of the Week as well. And again, he did those 2 sacks, and when we needed him, he did everything on one leg. So he's just phenomenal. It's so amazing how good he is at football. I can't believe that we drafted him 12th. I mean, think about it. We were 10th and traded back 2 picks and got him 12th. And thank God those corners got taken. I mean, Pat Surtain's good, J.C. Horn's terrible, but if they didn't get taken, we were taking one of the corners. So thank God they got taken by Denver and Carolina, because then we wouldn't have Parsons. But so we get the ball back at it's obviously the end of the game. We just kneel it 3 times and we win. So great, amazing game. Moved to 4-1. I was hoping at this point the Eagles lost because they were in a close game with Arizona. Arizona had a chance to tie it at the end of the game. They missed the kick. If that goes to overtime, who knows? Maybe they lose. That would I didn't expect them to lose going into that game, but the way that it played out, they definitely could have. But they're 5-0. We're 4-1. So we meet Sunday night this week in Philadelphia. Obviously, a huge game. Dak's not going to play this game, no matter what the reports say, whatever. I mean, at this day, it's already Thursday, and nothing's even come out yet, but he's not playing this game. So it's going to be Cooper Rush again. And, our offense is definitely going to have to be a little bit more productive. I'm hoping the run game can, play the way that it's played, especially against the Rams. Again, Philadelphia is a good front four. They have a good defense. They force a lot of turnovers, which is the one thing that Cooper Rush hasn't done. He hasn't turned the ball over once. So I'm not expecting that to stay the same in this game. I do believe, obviously I don't hope, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did turn the ball over, whether it's an interception or a fumble. Hopefully it doesn't happen because, if we don't turn the ball over in this game, we could definitely win. It's going to be tough. The defense is going to have to play lights out again. And with the way that they play offense, with Hurts running the ball and the different schemes that they run, they're obviously a heavy run team, but they do pass the ball a lot too. And they have good guys on the outside in Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. So it's going to be a full effort on defense, really a full effort for the team, but the defense has to play amazing again. And it's a lot to ask for. To ask your defense to hold a team under 20 points again, especially a team like this, which is explosive and can put up points, it's tough. It's just a lot to ask for. I think if we force turnovers, I think it's possible. If we get pressure on them, if their offensive line, I think I don't know if it's fully healthy for this game, but I know they're getting their left tackle back in this one. So we'll see how he looks and how he plays, but we'll see how Micah Parsons looks. I mean, he's not practicing this week. He may do some limited stuff, but it's not like he's going full practice. So we'll see how he feels and how he looks Sunday night. He should be fine, but hopefully nothing crazy happens. But it's really a full team effort. The defense has to play really well, and the offense they should have to be able to move the ball. Obviously we have to score. I'd say we probably have to score 24 points to win. I don't really see the Eagles not scoring 20 points at least. So I would say we had to score at least 24 to win this game. I would say anywhere in the 28 to 30 plus range is going to be tough. That's going to be really hard to do. But we'll see. I mean, maybe Cooper Rush just, we'll see. Maybe he's just maybe throwing the ball down the field. I mean, he only had 100 yards against the Rams, but they didn't really ask him to throw the ball. He only threw it 16 times. But hopefully the running game's good, though. Because if the running game's good and we're moving the ball that way, I think we could score. But it's going to be a tough matchup, I won't be surprised if we lose. But if we win, I'll know the reasons why. is going to be because we ran the ball really effectively and the defense just played lights out again. I mean, I guess you could say that every week, but it's especially important in the game against Philadelphia. So whoever wins is the leader of the NFC East. The Eagles could go to 6-0, or we could be 5-1 and then have the tiebreaker over them. But it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a really good game. And you know what? Even if we lose this game, we face the Lions and the Bears in the next 2 weeks. I'm not saying those are automatic wins, but they should be at least 85% plus wins. So even if we lose this game, we're 4-2, and we win the next two, we're 6-2 going into the bye. Dak would be fully healthy at that point. We'd probably already play 1 or 2 games, obviously the Detroit or Chicago game, and then we play Green Bay in Green Bay coming out of the bye. So, if we can go into the bye week 6-2, I'm perfectly happy with that. Even if the loss is to Philadelphia, like if they're going to be undefeated for 8-9 games, it's hard to really ask your team to like win the division when they're already 8-0, 9-0. So if we don't win this division, we don't do it. But obviously, this is the biggest test. If we win this game, I think we probably should win the division, because then we get fully healthy. We already have the win over them. If we would do win this game, we're 5-1. We should win the next 2 games. We'd be 7-1. It's just you kind of look at that and realize that we're in a good spot. Win or lose, we're in a really good spot. So I look forward to the game. I think the line, just to say the line is, I think it's 6.5 Philadelphia, which I think is crazy. I mean, we're not putting up a lot of points, but we're not letting up any points. And again, I don't think that will stay for this game, but 6.5. I mean, you think they're a whole touchdown better than us? I think it's crazy, but it's good. I mean, we kind of adapted the underdog kind of theme for our team, which I like. I mean, if they want to favor every team against us, that's fine. So I look forward to it. Sunday night, 8:20. I'll talk about it in next week's episode. Hopefully a win, but like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a loss. If we're going to lose, just don't let it be because we made mistakes and we killed our chances of winning. If they just beat us flat out, they beat us flat out. But we'll see what happens. I'll recap it next week. You'll see this episode next week. And at that point, we'll know more about when Dak's going to come back as well. But I look forward to next week's episode, and thanks for watching this one, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.